Welcome to the electronic car book. This is the last car book you'll ever have to buy. It's an electronic version. You'll never have to buy another copy of it. It'll hold thousands and thousands of cars versus the paper book. You're always purchasing books after, I believe it is 300 or 400 cars. So this video is for people that are going to use the electronic car book without a dealer management system. So if you are using a dealer management system such as Fraser software, who actually ties into the electronic book and it becomes more automated, you're watching the wrong video. You want to watch the video called, if you're using Fraser, it's called Update from Fraser to the Used Car Record Book. That's the video you'd want to be watching if you're using a dealer management system. If you have other dealer management systems other than Fraser, if you can get them to send us a file, we would connect that up so to save you plugging in all this information through doing it manual. We'd be willing to write a program at minimal cost to tie into your dealer management system. That being said, let's get on with the training on this video. Below here is this is a system that's already been installed. This is the dealer's number. So if you need any help, you could call us with the dealer's number and we can see if we can help you with that system. I'm sure we can. To get into the system, as we told you in your email, you would type admin, and down below you would put in the password, which is car book, and then hit enter. You're now in the system. The first thing you want to do when you get into the system would be to go to help. Right now the video's on here, but they will be listed very shortly. Under tools, you want to, this is if you're running a dealer management system that's tied into Fraser, you would input from dealer management system, but again, we're training on this video on how to do it basically manual without input. The first thing you might want to do would be back up your data. That's very important. You just click this button and say backup, and then save. Yes. Okay, that's done. The backup is complete. So you probably want to make sure that you back that up to a pen drive or another machine somewhere. God forbid if something happened to all your data, you'd never want to lose all this stuff. We do have plans in the future of doing automatic backups and saving them offline for you like Fraser software does. That seems to work out very well. I've had many instances where people's computer crashed, and because we're doing the automatic backups, they just call Fraser, and Fraser's able to get them back up and running within 10 or 15 minutes on a new computer without losing any data. Okay. The next thing we want to look at under tools would be the password maintenance file. This is where you would add your username and password, so you log in, the first name and last name and password. This is for keeping records of who actually went in and edited these records. You would just hit the add button, fill in the proper information, and allowing that person to come in, and it does print that person's name on every record that they edited. So that's what that's all about. On the tools also, there's reindex files, restore from backup, update system files, and options. If you need any help with it in this area, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. Okay, from here, I'm going to show you a few other things. Under forms, we have pull down forms, so I'm going to click in there and give you an idea what's going on here. This is when you're putting cars in the system. It asks where you got the car from, and it'd be auction. We've put a bunch of different auction names in here, so you can just pick them. You can add to this list, And then after auctions, it goes to obtain from source. This was obtained from an auction, obtained from company, obtained from individual, repossession, trade-in, wholesale, so on and so forth. We also have years in drill down boxes, and we also have in here if you put in you purchase from a company. Once you install a company's name in, like Acton Toyota, the next time you buy a car from Acton Toyota, you'll be able to pick it from a drill down box rather than type it in the system, saving you time. That being said, I'm going to go next over to, we can go a couple of places from print forms. I think we're a little ahead of ourselves on print forms, but from forms I can go to car book form, and what that's going to bring up is the actual form that you'll be filling out. And I'm going to center this a little more to make it a little more presentable. This is the book. It's very familiar to the paper, very similar to the paper book. You've got the motor vehicle part and history file, you've got the acquisition file, and you got the disposition file. And we also have a stock list. This tells you what cars you have in stock. It's a printout you can get, one line telling you each car that's in your inventory. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So let's go back to motor vehicle part ID. This is the first part of the system. It's on page 2 and it's version 1. If I go next, here's page 3, and this is version 2. So this is telling me that I've updated this page. And what happens is when you put cars in, the first time it would be version 1. You would print that out and put it in page number order in your book. The registry would like to have this done within 24 hours of purchasing a car and have it in your book. So if they come in to audit the books, the information will be there. To give you an idea what this, I can also tell what I did by clicking on this memo box, or what whoever put this in. And initially this particular car was downloaded by Frazier, and then the transaction date was changed on the same day, so that's why it's got version 2. Any other changes would be listed here that I went in, and of course you'd get the next version number. How you enter all this stuff in is you would hit add, you'd put in a stock number, it would put the date in for you. From a drill down box you'd pick the year. From you'd type in it's a Lexus, and the model and the color is another drill down box. You put in your VIN number and the engine size if you have it. If you don't, I don't think that's a big deal. If you were using this as parts, you type in, you know, what you're doing with it as parts. If any numbers have been defaced or altered, you'd put it here and check the appropriate box. The registration number, if any, I usually put this in on cars that are on consignment on my lot. So I do have a plate number on consignment cars on my lot. Check any of the appropriate boxes here that retain, or type in any other information you want to put in here. The title number is very important in the state. That has to be in here also. So that's basically all the typing you do on the first page. The second page is acquisition. This particular car was purchased at auction, and it was purchased at ADESA. However, the obtained from source in the book is never the auction. The auction is not the facilitator. There's a lot of confusion on this in this state about what should be going here. The registry wants you to put the dealer that traded this into the auction here, or if you've taken the car in trade, or you would put the person that traded it in here. And now all the information. We also need the odometer out information, and the car was purchased for resale. Was it a trade-in? If it was a trade-in, you'd put yes. Who's the person that bought the car? Goes here. And down below here, this is the last registered owner of the car. It might have been a company or a person, so you'd put that here. A lot of times, if you took a trade-in from a person, down here it'd be the same, so I usually type same as above, and that takes care of that. So that's about all we have to say about this page. Next, we're going to go to disposition. If you sold the car, this would be the person you sold it, the date, the address, city, state, zip code, so on and so forth. It was a sale or a trade when you sold the car. And the odometer out is very important. And in here you would put the person who disposed of the car, the salesperson most likely. And below is the DTR. If there's no DTR, you don't need a control number. If you click yes, you want to put the DTR control number in here. Again, if for some reason you're in here looking at this and you're using a dealer management system, you don't want to be typing stuff in here, because when you send it over from Frazier's going to overwrite it anyway. So the only thing you might want to type in here, if you are using a dealer management system, and even if you're not, if for any reason you want to delete a car out of here, you want to type in the reason you're deleting the car. It might have been you bought the car from auction and the transmission was cooked and it was not, told you that way. So you're returning the car, and then you can hit the delete button and try to delete it out of here, and that would keep the record, but we'd know the car was deleted. Also, if you're wholesaling cars back through the auction, what you want to do, the person that to transfer to, when the auction gives you a check, they also give you papers stating who bought your car at the auction. That is the person you put in transfer to, not the auction. The auction again is only the facilitator here when you're wholesaling. So you want to type in from the information off your sheet you get back from the auction company, the dealer that purchased the car would go in here. Then again, that's when you're wholesaling. So hopefully that's clear. The next tab over is a list, a single line list I can print out of what cars I have on my lot. If I click show only active cars here, I got one less car because I only have one sold car. If I click sold car, there's my sold cars. Show all records, do both sold cars and unsold cars, and again back to just cars that aren't sold. I can print this list out. If the registry wanted a list, I can just say print this, or not the registry, but the state police, when they come in here, here's the cars on my lot. You can, the registry or the state police may ask you if they could back this up and take it over to their office to look at the records. That's strictly up to you. You don't have to do that at this time until they make that a mandatory field. So that's strictly up to you if you want to allow them to do that. So that's about all we have as far as how to input cars. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show you what you're supposed to do. As you input a car, you would hit the print button after. I'm going to close this up and open this full. So this is the printout you would get. It has revision 1, stock number, just like your book now, and this is page 2. So if in fact you did make a change to it, it would go revision 2, and then you would print that and go to page 2 and put it on top of revision 1. The registry would like to see that within 24 hours put into your system. I know a lot of times some of you people, you're floor planning your cars and you don't get titles right away. The registry would still like you to at least put the dealer information in here, and then when you get a copy of your title, we want to know who the former owner was down here, and you can get that right off your title. You're supposed to have copies of your titles in your system or in your location, in case the registry would like to look at, or the state police would like to look at the original titles or copies of the original titles. So you are supposed to have those somewhere. A lot of people do make copies, and they take the originals home and put them in a safe or something for safekeeping. So okay, so we've talked about all these 3 different fields or 4 different tabs here. So I'm going to close this right now and show us some other. Do you want to? You have work in progress here. Save changes, yes. Okay. Under print forms, A lot of times you can go selected page numbers to reprint page 1 through 3 or page 1 through 1. So you can reprint forms from here. And all forms that haven't been printed, I'm not 100% sure this works when you're doing manual. I know it works from the automatic. If you sent over 20 cards, you'd print all 20 cards. You wouldn't have to pick page numbers. It'd just print them. I'm not 100% sure this works on the manual side of things. Also over here under print, you can also say all cars currently on lot from a date range. So you can say this would show you cars, say you entered in February. You could February 1 to February 28th. It would show you all the cars that you put in for the month. Sold cars is another item. You can click sold cars, and you can print out all your sold cars from a date range from January 1 to now, or you can do month by month and get an idea of what you're selling per month out of the system. So that's what that's all about. Under help, if you need to get a hold of us for any reason, this has Paul Burrill. Paul Burrill is the programmer. I'm Dick Hurd. I'm the designer of the program. Paul and I are partners in this venture. And my phone number is there, 781-910-0869. Again, it's Dick Hurd. I can be reached 7 days a week from 7:30 in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night. I'd be happy to answer any questions and help you in any way I can with this system. And you know, it doesn't bother me to get calls anytime. I get them now, and I'm more than happy to see if I can help people out and keep everybody. I know people are busy, and this, you know, they're looking for help to get, you know, get moving. So thank you for your time, and if you have any further questions, again, don't hesitate to call 781-910-0869, Dick Hurd. Have a great day. Bye now.